Hello, and we're live. Welcome to the Peter Repeater, episode 7 of many. I'll just give you the daily update of the news, and hopefully I can drink my cup of tea and keep you informed on the latest and greatest news of the world at the moment. So today is 23rd of March 2020, and this is before the daily update from the Prime Minister. So I will give an update of that as and when it happens. But for the time being, I'm just going to read a news article to get ourselves going and into the swing of things. So, am I allowed outside is the latest news article. What are social distancing and self-isolation? So, be 2 meters apart, don't go into pubs, restaurants, busy areas where you meet loads of people, and we're trying to keep everybody from spreading the disease. So that's the aim. But people haven't been following the rules. So, for example, pubs were busy just up until the night before they closed. So that wasn't good, spreading the virus even more. And there's photos of people still being open in public spaces. So there's that as well. So why is social distancing necessary? Is important to stop the spread of coronavirus. So there's a couple of questions here. Can I go out for a walk? You can, but you should always be 2 meters apart from each other, which I think things like that is a bit dubious, because you can go out for a walk, but you're not allowed to be near anyone. And more likely than not, people will just go out for a walk anyway, and they will not stick to the guidelines. So there's the whole idea that these guidelines aren't being followed at all. So what may have to happen is a lockdown is put into place, and that might come soon, because it's happened in other countries such as America and California. Currently in America, about 17 million people in a lockdown, stuck in their homes, because at the moment the advice is to only to go out for essential travel, but soon the advice will be tougher, and eventually it will be strict measures put in place where we will have to stay inside and things will have to be delivered to us, and rather than us getting the necessary means to deliver to other people. So all things considered, I think that things will change as they need to, and eventually there'll be a lockdown and we'll be stuck inside, which for me personally I quite like. I like to be stuck inside. I just like watching YouTube, reading books. Live streaming is a more recent thing, but it's all very interesting. So people are being called selfish for ignoring advice, and they're being called selfish. So because you want to stop the spread of the coronavirus, and even if you're healthy and think it's not a problem for you, it still might be a problem in general. So so to keep care of the vulnerable and keep care of the elderly and people with underlying health conditions, which is a favourite term at the moment, to keep people safe in those vulnerable categories, we have to all be safe and reduce the spread of the disease. And something I saw interestingly on YouTube is that in South Korea there wasn't much, if at all, any panic buying, and the shelves have not been emptied like they have been in so many other countries, which shows this virus is not getting rid of food, it's that people are getting rid of food themselves because they're worrying about the virus. And it just leads to more people getting rid of more food because there's not enough food to go around. So all this panic buying is very infectious, like the disease. So the number of cases is like rising exponentially, and Italy started off slow and then goes straight up. The UK is doing the same, and by the look of it, the cases is going up really rapidly, and the deaths will eventually do the same. So as of this podcast, the latest figures, probably updated from yesterday, is 281 deaths, but I'm sure there'll be more today. So today's Monday. So another thing is that the Olympic Games might be postponed, and Canada became the first major country to withdraw. Thousands of retired medics answered the government's call to return to work. So that's 4,000 nurses, 500 doctors. So people are getting the coronavirus, and we as a country, as all countries across the world right now, are dealing with it. And I wonder, obviously the airlines and the plane and the air travel has spread this really quickly. I wonder if we didn't have that, it might not have spread, which might encourage our world community to be more localized and to avoid air travel when we can. So Nicola Sturgeon has things interesting to say about the coronavirus. So she says that lives should not feel normal. Life should not be carrying on as normal right now. This weekend has been the most unusual in my lifetime, and that is true for all of us. So no one should be meeting people outside the family group unless it is absolutely necessary. So this whole idea of going outside and making the most of the time we have is not a good idea. So that's some of the updates on the coronavirus. I'll just have a look at when let's look at the live situation, see if there's any. It says House of Commons, UK mulls tightening restrictions further. UK government thinking very, very actively about stricter policies on social distancing. Italy enters a tougher lockdown with all non-essential businesses closed. Death toll in Spain passes 2,000. As I said, Canada and Australia say they will not send teams to the 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. South Korea, on the other hand, reports lowest number of new cases in weeks. And then overall, 350,000 confirmed cases worldwide, with nearly 15,000 deaths and almost 100,000 people recovering. So the majority of people right now are, if you take into account that 15,000 people have died and 100,000 have recovered, that leaves 235,000, which will be more because not everyone is tested, is currently got the virus or has not yet recovered. But these numbers are not exact, probably. Yeah, so that is some news about the coronavirus. And today I was in a queue where everyone was standing 2 meters apart. So it's a little bit has quite an impact. It feels real when you see it out in the real world rather than just on the news. And things have all changed all of a sudden. Lots of people staying at home, and who knows what impact that will have on society in the future. It might be that the economy suffers, people are left without jobs. In a way, we have to rebuild things, and we don't really know how bad this is going to get. I'm not quite a Ben Shapiro with my speed of talking, who is so fast and he has so much to say, and I don't agree with everything he says. He was saying that that the economy is going to go down by 20%, and he was saying it's not worth putting a lockdown and ruining the economy if you're not 100% sure that you're definitely saving lives, meaning that it might as well just carry on as normal, keep the economy going, and because you might not be saving lives anyway. It's a bit hard to comprehend, but basically he thinks it's not worth the strict measures unless you're sure those strict measures actually help and making the economy suffer. He basically thinks the economy is more important than people's lives. He'd rather, one person more to die if that was a better 1% of the economy or something ridiculous. But there you go. Some people care about different things, but Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool, was definitely more about caring for people, and he says football is the most important of the non-important things. So what he means is that this is way more important than the football, so of course it should be cancelled. But he also said if all the games were cancelled just to save one person from getting sick would make it all worth it, which I think is very noble of him to say and very true. So if you happen to be watching, I appreciate it, and hopefully in the future when we get a little bit of a momentum, a little bit of an audience, then I can answer some of your questions and we can have a little bit of a Q&A. Yeah. So this little setup here is pretty neat in my room. I've got the microphone. I'm sitting closer to the microphone so you pick up my voice better, and I got my camera set up with the tripod, and I'm just leaving it in my room, even though it's a little bit of a bother. I'm just leaving it there so I can just make the videos easier and make more videos. So I wonder when Boris Johnson, with his daily update, is going to be. Oh, this is interesting. Talking about the non-important football, former Manchester United forward Wayne Rooney addresses calls for Liverpool to be denied Premier League title. So what does he say? Wayne Rooney believes Liverpool deserve to win the Premier League title, but has joked part of him thinks it would be good if they miss out. So that's a bit silly. He's a Man United supporter, but he currently plays with Derby. Yeah, so let's see when this BBC Daily Brief, and then we'll see when the Daily Brief will be. I don't know if it's going to say. Yeah, I don't know, but eventually Boris Johnson will be have another bit of news for us. And I wonder if it's just about the House of Commons. I'd quite like to watch the House of Commons, if I'm honest. So I could just sit here and watch TV and continue the live stream, but I don't think that's good, particularly for my podcast listeners who are listening to this podcast while they're on the rowing machine, or in the gym on the running machine. Those people don't exist, but we can dream. Yeah, so hopefully I'll give a little bit of an update here. And the coronavirus has impacted daily life in a way. People staying at home, stocking up on food, and just being sensible about life and just being prepared. And I have made preparations myself. I'm not proud, but I have got tomorrow in the post, in the time of crisis, with the scarcity. Well, really, it could just be a little bit of panic buying and we get over it. But what I've got is some seeds. I've got 2 kilograms of seeds to plant. I'll probably give them to someone else to plant. But 2 kilograms of seeds, because seeds is a valuable commodity. And I'm not the only one thinking it, because the seeds website has had so much high demand, probably due to me and other people, that so much high demand that they've had to close the website temporarily, or they had to stop people from taking orders on the website because they couldn't manage with the demand. So I contributed to that high demand, and other things are, running out. Basically, online shopping everywhere is struggling. Got a dry throat. Not coronavirus, but yeah, online shopping everywhere is struggling a little bit, and I hope it resolves. But I also kind of hope that my preparations had some use to them as well. That would be good. Also, it'd be bad if we needed to plant seeds for food, but that's what we're doing, planting seeds for food. Apparently I've got seeds in the post. Oh well, I got seeds. Never mind. Yeah, so House of Commons is currently talking about stuff, and I can't really play that on here because it will get copyright striked or something. That's what all the YouTubers talking about, copyright and stuff, even though I don't have any adverts. But I think you're not meant to play other people's media, live stream other people's stuff. But yeah, they're just currently talking in the House of Commons about what might be useful and what restrictions might be taken into place. So I think what I might do is just pause the live stream here. This was a good 20 minutes, and then I'll watch the news, and then I'll come back with the news and keep you informed. So look out for the second Peter Repeater of the day, and we can get to the crux, the real root of what's happening in the world today. So bye for now. There'll be another video coming later on today. Look forward to seeing you. Bye.